What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another video. We are at 850 characters, so I just want to give a little bit of an update. Yes, it's taken a little bit longer to hit another 50 characters. However, at the end of the year, my friend Evan, I mentioned this in the last video, but just a small recap. My friend Evan comes in from Japan every year. He's been gone from America for 10 years, and he'll come in for Christmas, and we'll hang out. I may glance at a story. I'll keep up with some reviews, but that's about it. I usually don't do a whole lot during that because I try to enjoy time with him. And then we got slammed with an ice storm. It's been like zeros and negative temperatures here for a little bit, and so when that's the case, I've mentioned this before, I refuse to do anything outside of spend time with my son. I don't like to put things above him, so it just kind of slowed down. And now that they're kind of back in school, we're a little bit back more on schedule. So, but I'm at 850 characters in, and I've not added the vocab boost words right here. If I can highlight that, these down here. I've not added those to my flashcards yet, and yet I am using flashcards for this outside of just the traverse system that they use on Mandarin Blueprint, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, it's going pretty well, and so I love that I'm sticking with it first off, which is incredible. And not only that, but I am making progress at a level that makes me comfortable. It may not be as fast as what some people want, but I'm here 7 months later, and others perhaps are not, and I'm really enjoying the journey. So, I've learned a little over 600 characters since last June, and while that may not be a lot, it's 600 more characters than I knew last June, which also unlocks literally thousands of words. So, doing language learning for me, making myself happy, is kind of what we are doing here. So, 850 characters in, and the other reason it's a little bit slower is because the words, when you learn these words, right? Like, for example, this word right here, I hate that I can't highlight that. This word right here, right, which is kwe. Well, when you learn it, you don't just learn this character, you learn words that go with it. And so if you're doing flashcards, right, you learn this word, and then you've got, as you can see here, you've got 5 words that you've learned with this card. Right, you've learned 5 words that this character goes with other characters you've learned to make words. So, learning this one character, you're going to be adding 5 words to your flashcard system, and so that can get a little bit, that can become a whole lot, right? Because if you learn this one, you've got 5 words. If you've learned this word right here, you've got another 2 words, so that's 7. And then if you learn the character right below that, well, you've got another 6, right? So, I mean, that's already a ton of flashcards, and that's just 3 characters that you've learned. So that can take a little bit more time. Obviously, you're learning words with that, but you can't just burn through, 10 characters. I mean, you could. It'd just be a ton of flashcards. So, and that's going well. I did start adding them to an Anki deck because the system that Mandarin Blueprint uses is Traverse, and once you hit the intermediate stage, they do not give you flashcards for the words that you learn, just the characters, because they're wanting you to, go out and immerse and things like that, which I fully get. But I like just a little bit of popping it up forcefully to do that, and that helps a lot. And I'll talk about the flashcards here in a second. I did finish this, like I said, I have to add the vocab boost, but I have the story here that I've actually imported into lingq over here, which you cannot see, and I will talk about lingq in here in just a little bit, but I have 1,190, so 1,190 words on lingq that I know, which is probably, again, a little bit more, a little bit less, but I mean, it's a nice little indication of just what I'm reading, and I need to step that up. I'll also talk in a minute about importing some Do Chinese stuff. I don't know why we're doing this. Anyway. So I started tracking again. I didn't track a lot this month, but as you can see here, starting on the 21st, I started tracking, and I try to hit an hour a day. An hour, hour 52, hour 26, hour 53, hour 40, hour 6, hour 1, 37 minutes today. But the thing is that's not exact. I try to hit an hour, and then I don't really care if I track any more, okay? And so if I'm sitting at the pickup line to pick up my son, I'll take my phone, I'll pop open lingq, I'll pop open just a little 2 or 3 minute story, I'll read it, and there you go, right? And so that takes time. Yesterday I spent about 15 minutes reading that I didn't track. So as long as my thing is, as long as I know I've done an hour, everything else is bonus, right? I'm not worried about chasing these numbers of, oh man, I've studied, 10,000 hours this year or whatever. It's more of just, I know that I got an hour in, so I know I've spent time with it. Everything else is bonus. Let's try to get a little bit more. And that seems to work pretty well. So with the flashcards, I can show you the flashcards. We've got, let me pop open. All right, so I've got 3 different windows here. Boom. Anki. So Anki, I have added 90 cards into my Mandarin Blueprint deck. I have not done any of the, I got sentence mining set up, but I've not started using it yet. That's the test card that I made, and then I've got spoon-fed Chinese. But I've got 90 cards. I still have to make cards today. I've still got to go through my process today. And that is going super, super well. And the way that I have these cards set up, I can show you. So I have the cards set up like this. So I have the word on the front, and the example sentence is hidden, because I want to see if I can just jog my memory of what the card means, right? And if I can't quite do that, I can pop this open and then say, oh, okay, so all right, cool. All right. So then I can pop it over on the back, and I have the word, I have the sentence again, but I have the sentence translation hidden because I want to try to force myself to know what that is, right? I also have the definition down here, right, of what it means. There is audio, you just can't hear it here because I actually take this audio directly from Mandarin Blueprint. So, and then if you don't get it, boom. Right. Okay, twice as much. Okay, yeah, it's double. That makes sense. And so that's the way I have it set up, because I want as little English as possible, and I want to make sure that I can try to see the word, know the word. And what I quiz myself on, if I know, I have to know pronunciation, and I have to know the definition in order to pass it. If I know the definition but not the pronunciation, I fail it. And if I know the pronunciation but I can't remember the definition, I fail it. I have to know both. The sentences I don't quiz myself on. They're there just so I can see it and have it, but I don't quiz myself on what the definition of the sentence is. That's just not what I do. But that's the way that I have the cards set up. Again, on the front, it's this. There's no audio on the front, and that'll help practice my reading as well, right? And so that's just kind of what we're doing there. And I feel really good about that. That has helped me actually. That has helped me tremendously. I don't necessarily want to go backwards and start stacking in vocab that I learned previously, because I want to look forward. But man, it's just a game changer for me. Having that and being able to have it pop up ever so often in the beginning stages of learning is just absolutely, it's just crucial for me. It's absolutely crucial for me. I have been reading, and that has been really good. I've really enjoyed my time reading. I always try to talk about getting into reading, and I never do until recently when I finally got into it. I'm on a 7-day streak. I've read 9,600 words in the last 7 days. I would like that to be higher, but again, just getting into it is the biggest thing. I didn't want to go, and overdo it and then get burnt out of it. I'm really enjoying it. I'm not learning with any of the lingq stuff, like the short stories or whatever it is, the mini stories. I'm just importing stuff. I go over here to Do Chinese. I go over here to Do Chinese. I find a lesson that I like. It's a bit of a process to get it imported into lingq, because you can't even copy the words here, but I've got a little bit of work. It's not like pirate. I'm paying for this. I'm not pirating it. For the record, I do pay for this service, but I just enjoy pulling it into lingq. I like statistics. I like being able to see hours listened, right? How many words that I've, that I didn't know while reading, how many words that I've known, how many words that I didn't know while reading that I do now. I love seeing the statistics. I think that that's really, really cool. And so that's why I love pulling the lessons from Do Chinese into lingq. It just makes it a lot easier to go. And So I'll read that, and I'll read some shorter stuff. I've imported several courses that they're not showing. Courses. There might be something wrong here, but yeah, here we go. So I've done. I imported. Man, I've imported a lot of stuff. The Watch from Do Chinese. This is the Mandarin Blueprint intermediate stuff. Ghost Friend from some everyday life stuff. An Office Girls thing. I haven't imported anything into mini stories. I've not even done a lot of the lazy Chinese. I'm just reading a lot and studying the vocabulary, and that seems to be working quite well for me. I've really, really enjoyed the learning process. I've really enjoyed everything that goes into it, and I've enjoyed kind of the slow journey. And if you're wondering, yes, I still write. I still handwrite. I usually write it once or twice. It's just this notebook is full. It means a lot to me because I love writing, and I think that writing it down while saying it just kind of helps stick in my brain. I write the vocabulary words too, just the first time, not as I'm studying, but I'll write it, and that just kind of helps just solidify it in there. So that's where we're at. Again, my goals, I try to keep them very realistic. I just want to study. I just want to study and immerse in Chinese and have fun, right? Everything that I'm reading has audio, so I'm listening as well. And then I'll listen to those when I'm out, try to see what I can pick up from not reading. And a lot of things that you worry about, like, man, a lot of words in Chinese sound the same. Like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be able to figure out what they're talking, but you do. Like it's you don't have to make a conscious effort. Like, it's just context as you get more into the language. It just makes sense. Like, when you hear it, you don't even second guess that they're talking about something else just because of the context, and that word is this. Like, it's just slowly starting to happen. I psych myself out on Chinese a lot because it's made out to be so difficult, and I'm not saying it's not hard. Learning a language is hard, but like, the characters just make sense, and it helps the words. Like, the fact that I don't have to learn a word for sewage. This is a word I just learned, by the way. I don't have to learn the word. That's where I'm at vocabulary-wise. I'm learning words like sewage. The fact that I'm learning a word like sewage, and I don't have to learn a word for sewage, I know that sewage is filth water. Wu shui. That's sewage. Like, everything just makes so much sense. And I know that there's a lot of difficulties. I struggle with some of the grammar, some of the longer. I actually need to start reading some of the intermediate stories because the that kind of middle area, the elementary stories on Do Chinese are just so easy for me, and that's insane to say. I never thought I'd be there. I always wanted to know what that would feel like, even an elementary story, and I'm there, and it feels good, and I need to step up to intermediate because the stories, I may pick a story out, and especially this is the other reason I love reading on lingq, is because it'll tell you how many new words are in it. And a lot of times it might be 5 new words for an entire story that I've not seen before, and then 4 of those are words that I know. And it's like I need to step up to get more diverse of a vocabulary and stuff like that. But being able to appreciate where I'm at with the elementary stories is like something that I never thought that I would experience. Anyway, that's where we're at. I've still not really done a lot of output or anything of that nature. I'm still just enjoying it, man. I love this language. I love reading it. I love listening to it. It's the best. It's the best. And I'm having fun. And we're gonna be here for a long time learning Chinese. Like, this is all I want to do. So, but I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoy. If you have any questions, as always, let me know in the comments down below. And I will see you very soon for another update video. Take care.